When it comes to relationships, I am always passionate about number one, purity, and about marrying right.
So welcome back. This is our second part of the topic love, dating, and marriage. We cannot exhaust this topic. It's too wide and it is always so relevant in our lives. But we are trying to negotiate with Bwana Peter over here, and we wanted to see what we can take out of it or what we can discuss with us. And before we left, we were at the right person, wrong timing. The wrong person, right timing.
The right person, wrong timing. That is true. The wrong person, the right time. I do not think so. Yes, it could be that this person is right for you, but again, it is too early for that. Too early, given maybe there are some things you need to achieve, maybe your education, where you maybe growth also, maybe some things you want to achieve. So you need to give it some time. I do not believe in the wrong person at the right time. If it's wrong, everything is wrong.
Not even the time.
If the person is wrong, time cannot be right. There is no right time for the wrong person.
Thank you. And when you say about the right person, wrong time, what have you expounded on that?
Timing. Timing is very critical in everything. The Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes that there is time for everything under heaven. Time to plant, time to sow, time to rejoice, time to mourn, to mourn. Also, there is time to marry, and time to die. And that would say time to divorce.
Time to die.
And time to die. There is time to be born again and time to die. There is also time to marry, time to date, time to court, time to do all those things. We live under time. Is it the y-axis or the x-axis? It is time. In that graph here, it is constant, or it is time. I think I have been a victim of wrong timing. The wrong timing comes in when you start a relationship too early. When number one, you're not ready for it. Number two, you are too busy for it. Number three, you're not mature enough. For instance, this is a guy who has finished maybe high school. He wants to get into college or to university and to practice, and he wants to start a relationship maybe in Form 1, Form 2, or even after Form 4. Will you carry the relationship maybe for the entire college or university life? Of course, some people, I'm alive to the fact that some people date for more than 4 years, even 6 years, 7 years, others 8 years. Well, I do not recommend that because it has its dangers and its, of course, disadvantages. But I think if you do your timing very well, it will be less tiring, it will be enjoyable, you will manage, you will not stray. So first of all, have your priorities right. If it's education, finish your higher education, and then maybe get associated with that person. The reason why we see maybe a lot of relationships that are not working is because of that timing. Because when you are timing or when you are relating, you will just relate with a person of the level where you are. When you go high to the ladder maybe of life, you find other better people. Or not really better, I'm a better in quotes. You find people who you can relate in terms of career or life goals.
You get people who have similar what do you say? They have similar opinions as you, depending on the field that you are.
Yeah, career-wise, exactly. So I think you tend to you even leave them. That's why we hear a man taking a young girl, educating her, and then later on,
leaving her.
The girl leaves. Well, I'm not justifying the girls do so. I'm just saying timing is very important when it comes to the issue of marriage, because you don't want to date forever again. And please, this I think to me, this is my advice, or this is what I can recommend. Do not stretch, do not make it too long. Do not make it too long. Don't make it too long. It should not be an eternity kind of dating. Look for time, some reasonable time. Some reasonable time. I don't want to say 1 year, 2, 3, 4 years, but I'm saying some reasonable time. Be ready for it. Let it be the main priority, the main commitment at the time, but not have your studies, not have other things, and then you still want to, because dating consumes a lot of time again and energy. So give it ample time,
The
because
thing is work.
it's work.
So it's marriage.
But it works also.
So it does work.
Yeah, it works if it is given the necessary requirements of time and energy and concentration. So yeah.
So when we say that you have the right person, what do we say in terms of the non-negotiables, we say, or the things that should be common, or the things that you should complement each other with?
What makes a person right for you? What to look for, rather. I think before you can even go out into looking for someone, you should first of all, we said, you know yourself and you know what you want. Self-awareness is key here. I think there are values you need to look for, and some principles, or maybe they are one and the same. Values. Number one, as a Christian, I believe that you should not be unequally yoked with unbelievers or with non-believers. Faith really plays a central role. I have seen people of different faith relating and ending up getting married, but those marriages, majority of them, they end up having issues and maybe breaking up because they cannot agree on who to worship, on how to worship. And worship, it is a vacuum in the life of a human being that cannot be filled by anything else. Human beings always want to look for truth, and that is in worship, in whom they worship, in whom they express their deities. Who so faith should really be common, according to me. If you're a Christian, look for a Christian. You can even get it deeper or get further with that. Not just a Christian. If you're born again, then be born again. Because we have Christians by affiliation. I'm not talking of that. Or by association. You will be Christian or a Christian by the fact that you are born again. That is just the basic irreducible minimum I should maybe ask or urge my Christian brothers and sisters to look for. And number two is the values, the life values. They are values that should be embedded. These values, we get them from the fruits of the Holy Spirit, I should say. There is a love, there is peace, there is self-control, there is humility, there is gentleness. Let me even add integrity and this honesty. People are not 100%, but there should be things that we should not compromise or we should really not overlook. Something like just speaking the truth. What is wrong with you telling me the truth? What is wrong with you getting late and telling me that you are in also, instead of telling me you are at Koja and you are meeting in town and you are late with 1 hour? What is wrong? Will you are cheating or lying to me, make it faster, make the vehicle fly? No, I think we should learn to be honest, because it is something small, but I value honesty and integrity so much. So I think, and if you hear your person, your fiance, your boyfriend lying to other people,
definitely would lie to you.
You are the next victim, you are the next patient. So I think values should agree. That's just an irreducible minimum. They should agree. You should agree on how to do things, how to handle things. You should be able to agree. You should be able to agree with everything. So I said faith is the most important here, and other values that you look into. I don't know what. There are many, but I say integrity. The urge maybe to pursue purity, the urge to do things in a certain way. For instance, what is your view on sex before marriage? As a lady, I want to date. You agree it's okay? What's my view on that? I think that is something you also need to agree with. The view of wedding. What's the view of you as a lady being married by a pastor? It's another question.
Now, when you're a pastor.
Yeah, when I'm a pastor or when I become a pastor eventually. Those are some of the questions. These values you get to know when you ask these real questions. So I think There is more. There is a lot, depending on the person, on their values. Some of these values are personal, depending on where someone wants to get in life.
Yeah. Someone was doing a video, I don't know the TikTok already, they see it, and they were saying that when they want to establish a relationship, may it be romantic or friendships, they will take the book of Corinthians 13, it's 13, 14 that talks about love.
Yeah, it's 13, the whole of that chapter. 13,
not from 14, and they will replace the name of the person with, for example, Peter. Peter is kind. Peter does not put a record of wrongs. Peter is not boastful. And when the person they want to have a relation with fits every other aspect of Corinthians 13, 14, then they know these are the values of the person that should be for me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's a good criteria. It's a good way to measure. But I'm afraid
it's not.
You may spend your whole life looking for that person.
Thank you.
Because First Corinthians chapter 13 describes the agape love of God.
Yeah.
And daily we are work on progress.
Sure.
Especially in the issue of being boastful. You may not know, even yourself, you may not know you're boastful. The issue of never fails. We fail sometimes, let's be honest. We fail. Love never ends. Love never fails. You see, so I think it's always good also to be wise, because that is looking for a perfect someone, or that is looking for God on earth. Of course, God is here on earth, but you don't want to date God. What I'm saying is, that bar is good, but it's so high, only God can attain that. But you want to look for someone maybe with a capacity to grow and maybe to achieve that, or to at least achieve a threshold of becoming, because you may really be, but can I ask you, before you even look for that person, are you, if you replace your name there, are you?
Are you? That is it. That was the same thing someone commented. Before you even measure someone with the aspect of service, are you? If you replace your name and you feel you're also missing, then definitely you attract what you are.
Because allow me to just use you ladies as this without all due respect and love. We really want gentlemen. But are we gentle ladies? We are quick to look out for gentlemen. Are we gentle ladies? Gentleness is not a one gender only male. It is a fruit of the Holy Spirit, which is which should cut across all genders. Okay? So are we gentle? Are we loving? Are we humble?
Are we?
Are we? so I would tell us before you can. It's good we always want the best for ourselves, but do not be selfish. Do not be selfish. Also, develop yourself, build yourself with these values, and have room, tolerate some tolerance. This is where we have some non-negotiables. Some non-negotiables is like someone maybe they do not open a door for you. That is teachable. You can
petty.
Yeah, it's not really petty, but you can teach them. Teach them, tell them when a gentleman is with her lady, what you do, you open a door for me, you wait for me to get in, and then you can get in last and shut the door. If you are traveling, open the door.
And then he's too busy next time and you forget.
Yes, that is your work to keep reminding them. Keep reminding them. That's something that can be taught, can be. But when someone tells you they must do some root tests before marriage, then that is not something to teach them. That is deeply rooted in them. I think that is non-negotiable. So non-negotiables are core and the major ones, and the so basic. But negotiables are things we can compromise easily, things we can learn on the process, like grooming, personal grooming, like taking when talking, table manners. You understand such things? How to eat when your mouth is closed, with your mouth closed rather. How to dress, such things we teach each other. But anger issues,
non-negotiable.
No, I didn't say that. Anger issues, well, depending on how on how it is, you should be able to gauge. Is it an issue that is deeply rooted? Are you willing as a lady also to take him through that? And is the man or the lady willing to change? So you may want to help them. If it's something that cannot be done, you may seek help. If you cannot do it by yourself, but if it's really gonna affect you, you may want to leave it at that. So I think you should be able also to see the negotiable and non-negotiable at you, but do not be too petty again. Give some people some room to grow.
Do not be so petty. Have your non-negotiables and have what you can work with.
Sure.
So the next question, I would love to ask two questions that I hope you'll be able to marry and to answer together. And the first question would be, oh, what do you do if your partner is not vulnerable enough to share what they're going through? As in, you find men mostly, it's hard for them to share what they're going through with the ladies they trust. And I would love you to match that with the aspect of self-work. You said working on yourself first and knowing who you are. I would love you to expand on the same.
It's one personal development. So we are handling personal development and the issue of vulnerability. Let me start with the first one. Being open, being vulnerable to your partner. We are different in our make. That is number one. As men, as ladies, we are different. Ladies tend to be more expressive than men. Ladies tend to be more emotional than men. Men tend to be, if I'm not wrong, I start to be corrected to be logic beings, reasonable beings, and to be people who want quick results and just fix. Like if there's a problem, a man wants to get the solution first of all, but a lady wants you to understand first of all, to relate with them emotionally and to show some care, some that you care.
Before logic, kindly understand.
Kindly understand, kindly show some care. Identify, relate. We had a conference with a friend last a few weeks ago, and I am all looking for the solution. Like, how can we get out of this hell and keep going? But on her side, she was like, "No, is that how you handle it? You didn't even. I didn't see like you understood even the problem in the first place. You're so quick. How? What do you mean?" So we should understand that we are different, even in our level of vulnerability. However. You should at some level or some point, because it's a journey again, does not come at once, it's work again. You don't start friendship today and you become vulnerable today, you share everything today. No. It is vulnerability calls for trust. It is confidentiality. Because some of these things are sensitive. Sure. Some of these things are very sensitive to us. Maybe they are personal issues like self-esteem issues. Like how we view ourselves, you understand, like confidence issues. So it is earned. Let me say you earn that. You earn that vulnerability. Because ladies want some safe space. Again, I want to give an example. Someone is very quiet, but all of a sudden they are talking to you for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours in a day, and you're like, actually I asked them, not even it's all well, are you still the one who keeps quiet during meetings for over 1 hour, and we are here talking for over 2 hours? What has changed? And the person answered me, I got a safe space. You understand? I got a safe space. So men, I think we also, and ladies, we need to create and provide some safe space, yeah? Because really you don't wanna again go to hospital and you will not find a doctor. Maybe you'll find an engineer there who will just mess up with your maybe with your issues. Because so you wanna go to a hospital when you know you're going to be taken care of. Some of these issues are wounds and hurts. So I want to share with you when I know you're going to take care of them. So I think we should provide that safe space. But again, we should also try to understand our men, especially ladies. Understand your man, because men are not as expressive as ladies. So try to read the mood and the signs. Try to read him. You will always know when he's not happy, and try to ask. And by he will be free with you to tell him what is the issue. Because you find a man can have 100 issues, but a lady have one issue, but a lady is all over. Yeah. So I think it's just the nature of men, but we should, as ladies, also try to understand them and try to care for them even when they have not told. Just ask them, learn them, and about them. Yeah. So that's what I can say. But the other issue was about personal development, working on ourselves. Yes, we should work on ourselves first. There are some things. There's some level of maturity we should attain before we can say we are ready to date or to marry. Number one, what we should have worked for is self-esteem. You don't want to get into a relationship and you always think that you're not loved well because you are not
You've not loved yourself well first.
Yeah, you, of course, self-esteem has to do with that. You have not loved yourself first, and then you think that other people do not love you because maybe you are not as beautiful, because maybe you are not as tall, as short, as dark, as light skinned, or as whatever you wanted to have.
Don't have
but you
beards.
don't have. You don't have beards. Okay. You said I don't have beard.
It was an example.
Okay.
I can see you have it.
Thank you. What I'm saying is, accept yourself first. Work on your self-acceptance. Work on your self-esteem, because those are some wounds or some hurts. If you go with them into the relationship, they say wounded people wound others.
They bleed on them.
Yeah, you bleed on them, and do not go hurting other people. Do not go. There's a case I have of a lady who terminated their relationship, ended their relationship because she thought she was not doing enough.
Okay.
She thought that the man was giving much more. She was not doing.
Doesn't feel like she's worth it.
Yeah, of course, that comes from the point of she has not accepted herself. She has not accepted that she's worth the man. So you see, such issues, they may seem minute, but they paint a bigger picture. They give a huge impression. So what I'm saying is, work on yourself, esteem issues, confidence. Also have confidence. Confidence comes with acceptance. Work on some values. Like if you find you have some pride in you, try to work through prayer and Bible study. If you have some issues, some traumas also, childhood traumas, maybe your parents or your brothers, your cousins mistreated you when you are growing up, work on them. Work on them. If there's something that you wanted you never got, please work on that. If you were hurt and broken, as you are saying, you are telling me, if you are hurt or wounded by another person, first of all, heal. Do not get into another relationship before you can heal. Do not get there with baggage with another person. Do not look for your father in the man that you want.
Okay.
Ladies.
Thank you.
Because I really, honestly, I cannot be your father. No, I'm not your father. Also for men, do not look for your mother.
Mothers in the ladies you marry.
Yes,
Okay.
you cannot find her there. But do not get me wrong. There are values you should look for. If your mom was good, it's okay to look for some good. If maybe she was honesty, she was a prayerful woman, that's something you can look for. But I'm not saying you look for everything that your mother was. Really, this is like a best thing. Please, I think we should be able to allow people to be themselves. Do not really be so rigid that this person should be like this, should be like this. Allow some room. Allow some room for growth. So work on yourself. Let God work on yourself. Read the Word of God. Pray so much, and then you can never be 100% even when you have worked on yourself. But there is some threshold you should reach, at least the maturity to allow you to take care of somebody's daughter or someone's son. Yeah.
So the other question would be, what is the big difference between marriage and cohabiting?
Yeah, what's about big difference?
Because it's big.
Number one, marriage is what I started in the beginning. Marriage is God's idea. It is biblical. I have not found cohabiting being biblical. Biblical, I mean, it is not like affirmed in the Bible. I know marriage was there in the Garden of Eden. There was no cohabiting. God started marriage. Cohabiting is a perversion. It is what? It's a counterfeit. It is something that people have tried in their, should I say, in their lawlessness or in their wickedness, try to really invent cohabiting. But before I can go for cohabiting, let me first of all explain marriage so that people can understand what is cohabiting. Because you can only explain original, because counterfeit can be in many forms. Marriage is godly. Marriage should be honored. And what qualifies marriage, number one, is that marriage should be legal. It should be legal, meaning it should be known even by the state. Legalized by the laws of the land, should be known. Either traditional wedding, civil wedding, church wedding, whatever. It should be recognized by the state. And a certificate should be there from the government, the register of marriage.
100,000.
And that. Well, let me not comment on that.
Please don't.
But we shall marry.
We will.
At whatever cost.
We will.
At whatever cost.
We will.
We shall marry and obtain.
Fine.
The point is, it should be legal.
Yeah.
And it should be officiated with a licensed person. I was happy to learn that people who officiated marriage are licensed. I didn't know. They have a license from the government to officiate marriages. Yeah. Pastors. There are pastors who have marriage to do that. I do not know. There is the Attorney General. He's licensed or mandated to do that. The traditional wedding, I do not know whether those people who do it, they are licensed per se. But I know maybe whatever they do, at the end of it, they can obtain a license to officiate that marriage. Yeah. So I think those two elements, number one, should be legal, binding, be officiated with a licensed person. All the other elements like having a witness and the parents of both sides getting to know and being involved in the process. Cohabiting, what is cohabiting? I don't know, because it has very many shapes. You just find a person randomly and you start living together.
We're cutting costs.
Cutting cost why? Well, not necessarily.
Yeah.
But it's cohabitation habitat. So you are co. So it comes from the word co. It's like co-driver. It is, you are doing it, two of you. So habitation, you are sharing a habit. It's more of can we stay. Cohabiting is a term describing all those funny situations the two people find themselves in. We become a stay, let us try, we see whether it works, all those things. All those things. So cohabitation, you don't have consent of, you don't have marriage certificate, it was not officiated by a licensed person, most often than not, the consent of parents, or even if they know, it was done under the carpet. So yeah, chini ya maji, a lot of fishy and a lot of compromises taking the young generation to a storm or with a storm. It is wrong. There are no two ways about it. It is wrong. It is wrong. Wait. You cannot die because you waited. Please, young men, let us wait. Young ladies, let us wait until the time is right. Until the time is right. Yes, good times takes time. Good things takes time. Good things, yeah, good things. Good things takes time. So,
ladies, you want to enter into the topic of purity.
Oh, purity is a person.
Oh yes.
It is some anyway. Purity as to mean abstaining,
Yeah.
abstaining from sex before marriage. Sex before marriage is wrong and ungodly and unbiblical. That is my stand, and that is what I have to say about it. It is paramount. Purity is paramount. Sin is destructive. Sin is harmful and very, very, again, detrimental. There's a lot that goes wrong when sin comes into place. Actually, everything goes wrong, especially when sexual sin comes into play. It messes with the dignity of the persons involved. It messes with their values. It messes with their faith. It messes with their respect. It messes with their honor. Everything. Please set some boundaries. Purity is not easy to be achieved because the natural body wants it. Wants just to have sex. The natural body, you don't have immunity against that. So I think boundaries will help you because it is a natural. It's not natural. The natural thing is fornication and kind of premarital sex. That is what's natural. What is not natural is purity and restraining yourself and holiness. That's not natural. So we have to work for it. However, it is achievable. We have to work for it because it can be done and it is possible. Set some boundaries, especially on where you meet. You always want to meet in private, the two of you. Please avoid that. What time do you meet? Walk in the light. Maybe walk the light. Maybe walk the light. Walk in the light. So other boundaries is a commitment and a covenant that you do not awaken love before it's time. You started that. That is actually a scripture in the Bible. It's a scripture in the Bible. Is it in Job or Ecclesiastes? I do not know.
I think it is Ecclesiastes.
Or Songs of Solomon. I think it's Songs of Solomon. Our viewers can help us get that. Do not awaken love before it is time. Just do not have sex before it's time. Sex is only a pleasure of the married people. It should only exist and be practiced and be enjoyed in marriage exclusively.
Someone would ask,
There are no way.
I'm so sure this is you. I know. I don't want anyone else. It is you, Dada Wanjiru. It is you. What am I waiting for?
It is you. Thank you. Very important. It will always be you anyway. It will be me. Good times takes time. You see, I think that's a lie. It's a deception of the enemy.
That is the deception.
It's the deception of the enemy. Because some people argue, are we only going to wait for a paper to officiate as we have agreed? The bigger issue here is that we have agreed, or the bigger thing is that we have agreed we are going to get married. I think that's again is the lie of the enemy, because it's against the Bible. Because if the Bible has said this, it has said it with a reason. Because I said, when you allow premarital sex, that is sin, and sin is destructive, and sin is so bad that it will ruin the whole picture, the whole maybe agenda of yours. Because if you cannot wait, then you are not worthy having her.